Imagine stumbling upon a promising defender that is so highly regarded that one of the biggest clubs on earth is on the verge of investing millions of pounds into that potential before he's even turned 18. Today, we're going to be looking at the next emerging talent that might soon be swapping the intense, passionate, crazy atmosphere of Paraguayan football for the bright lights of Old Trafford. Manchester United's new recruitment strategy, possibly under Ruben Amorim, possibly something that was put in place by the fellas at Ineos, is reportedly zeroing in on a young left-back with the sort of explosive athleticism and a track record that, while brief, has already put all of European top scouts on high alert. Today we're going to dive into why this 17-year-old talent is creating such a buzz and what he could bring to the United team. So his name is Diego León. He's 17. He'll be turning 18 in April. He's Paraguayan. He is a left back that can also play left side centre half, potentially even left wing back. And there is a buzz around him, with United reportedly in the race to sign him, indicating with high regard in which he is held. The potential fee mentioned is around about £3 to £4 million, which reflects the value despite the youth and the limited first team experience. He currently plays for Cerro Porteño, which is one of Paraguay's most prestigious clubs, and it does have a very strong history of developing players that have gone on to make their way in the top European leagues. Almiron came through Cerro Porteño's ranks before finding himself in the Premier League at Newcastle. Sanabria eventually made his way to Serie A and La Liga. Julio dos Santos earned a transfer to Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. That shows what pedigree that one particular club has got and the sort of environment that might have helped shape Leon's early footballing education. Now, he himself is noted for quite exceptional physical attributes for his age. He's got the speed, the agility, the strength, and he's got the ability to cover ground very, very quickly and engage in physical duels, which has probably been highlighted as like his most standout feature. He's very adept at defending 1v1 situations, shows real good anticipation and tackling, and a physical presence that he's got allows him to compete against the more experienced forwards, which is why he's been catching people's eye as a 17-year-old. He does have very solid technical skills. He's pretty good with the ball, and he's got the capability to contribute into attack. He's got crossing and final third decision-making that will be areas for growth and development, but his understanding of the game does seem advanced for his age, which allows him to adapt to all of those different roles in the defensive line. He has shown comfort in a back four and potentially in a back three. The pace that he's got allows him to be a threat in the final third, whether that's by overlapping, runs through the central areas into the half space, which could be beneficial in a system that emphasises wing-back contributions. Now, notably, South America has produced arguably some of the best wing-backs we've ever seen in world football, but they've also produced full-backs that have historically adapted well to the European game when given proper development time, whether that's Roberto Carlos to Cafu to Dani Alves, Marcelo, Alexandro. Players that have combined technical finesse with that raw physicality have tended to thrive on the European stage. Then you've got the more sort of refined fullbacks, the Zabaletas, the Acuñas, that have sort of played the game in a different sense, but also done well in Europe, proving that with the right development and support, you can go and get some very, very high-level fullbacks out of South America. Now, this impending transfer with Manchester United, reportedly we're in advanced talks to bring him in for, like I said, between £3 and £4 million, with discussions about a sell-on percentage going to Cerro Porteño. It's a big investment for someone that's at a young age, and it's something that United have been doing quite a lot lately. We've seen them really investing, whether that's the Chido Obi Martins or the Kones. Like, United have seemingly decided that this is a strategy that we're going to be doing. And we obviously believe he possesses the raw attributes to develop into a top-tier defender. It's not the sort of player that I would expect to see lacing up on the other side of January, or maybe even next season. It might take a little bit longer than that while he adapts. And the move does seem to align with this strategy of signing young talent, but also of securing promising South American talent early doors to build a bit more of a diverse and dynamic squad for the future and avoid avoid the fees that happen when he inevitably got to Benfica and now are worth 60, 70 million, because that seems to happen all the time. Now, when we look at the fit for Ruben Amorim, Amorim's typical 3-4-3 formation, you could easily see him used as a left wing back as part of the the midfield in the 4, or as part of the back 3. He's got the intensity, the physicality, and the ability to bomb forward and align with that sort of wing back kind of role. He likes defenders that can contribute both offensively and defensively. And he's also got a track record of developing young players into system-specific roles at Sporting. That suggests he knows how to nurture young talent. Obviously, we need to see that here at Old Trafford ourselves. Leon's versatility, though, and the athleticism. I think the athleticism is a big one, because I think we need to lift the athletic floor of this team. I think he fits perfectly into that ethos, even if he's going to be someone that you might not even be looking at for 2 or 3 years. I think he is someone that you're going to look at. He could be a really interesting addition to United's evolving kind of squad. Now, I think he would be integrated initially into the youth setup, possibly even going on loan. Probably not for a first year, though, because he needs to understand the club. He needs to understand English footballing culture. And he's going to face competition that he might not be able to oust just yet. Forget Luke Shaw, forget Malacia, even the likes of Harry Amas and Dalot. Those are going to be players that might be far too much for him to get over in the first season as he's adapting to the English game. But if his growth continues, he could be a viable long-term solution for us in that left wing-back slot. I genuinely believe that could be the case. Obviously, I haven't seen a lot of him. I've watched a handful of YouTube clips, but it's quite clear that he's got some stuff that could lead him to developing. And we've done a lot of these sort of transfers in the past, and they've been genuinely hit and miss. When you look at Rafael and Fabio, they was 2 fantastic Premier League level defenders that were absolute first choice. The only issue with Fabio was he had a bulletproof Paddy Evra in front of him, which limited his game time and development. And Rafael had an end of career Gary Neville in front of him, which afforded him opportunities to get into the team. And considering that they were twins, that just shows how much match time can develop you, because Fabio was meant to have been the better one, and actually it was Rafael the one that played the most for us, just on the back of opportunities. We also had that Angelo Enrique experiment where we signed him in a similar sort of vein, and we never saw him. There was the not South America, but there was a couple of Serbian lads that we signed. Do you remember them? Like 5 minutes. I think one of them made a substitute appearance once, Tosic or something. Never seen again. Like, you can take gambles on youth players like this. If it pays off, then you look like a genius. And if it doesn't, you haven't really lost all that much in the grand scheme of things. But from just the couple of clips that are online about him, you look at what he's got going on. I don't know whether it's going to be wing back or centre half. Genuinely looking at him, it could be either right now. I feel like it's going to be more for the wing back role. The physical attributes, the recovery pace that he's got, I think he looks like a shout for that. South American imports often require a bit of an adjustment period. The age that he's coming over, and with his early exposure to sort of high-level competition, and obviously the international scouting that United have been doing, suggests that he's going to be prepared for the step up. He's going to require strong mentorship. He's going to require a supportive environment. And he could follow in the footsteps of other young defenders that have come from South American leagues and straight into being some of Europe's elite. I think it's a good idea. I think it's the sort of intelligent scouting that we've seen other clubs do, and we've seen other clubs take a gamble on this. Like I said, notably the Portuguese league and the Dutch league seems to uncover these quite frequently, and we have an issue with trying to do that sort of gambling scouting in the UK and at United in particular. But if we're looking for a system that's flexible, that's got high pressing, very offensive attacking style of play, then a 17-year-old physical specimen that's quick, aggressive in his duels, suggests the right kind of fit. It's no guarantee that it's going to work. European football and South American football are very, very different. But if he adapts to the new league and the new lifestyle, then, you know, it could not only just affirm United's intent to look at some of the unreal talent that's coming out of South America frequently, but it also underscores a bit of a long-term strategy that fits the new manager's plans. Obviously, we'll be watching his journey closely, interested to see how it plays out. But it'd be very interesting to see if we've gone to, you know, a bit of a backwater in Paraguay, pulled someone out who can be a starter. You know, we obviously didn't do the same kind of route with Antonio Valencia, but, you know, Ecuador is not your Brazil and Argentina, but we had a serious footballer in Antonio Valencia. If he can adapt like he did to the UK, fucking hell, what a player! What a player! What an attitude! What a spirit to have in the team. Let's hope he can go on that sort of trajectory, because I wouldn't mind having him in the squad at the moment. Anyway, give us your thoughts if you've seen him, if you've not, all the rest of that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.